All right. Here it is. Coming into the home stretch. Can I say that? Coming down the home stretch of the 2025 CFL season starts right here on the Rouge, White, and Blue CFL podcast. Hello and welcome to the Rouge, White, and Blue CFL podcast. My name's Oz Davis. I am the co-host of the show, and joining me as always, decked out in the Winnipeg Blue Bombers blue and gold, Joe Pritchard. Joe, how is it going?
Oh, I'm on a plane to Winnipeg at the end of the week, so I'll actually finally be dressed correctly, I guess.
Okay. All right. Well, not correctly, but appropriately. Right?
No, both. Well, both of those apply, so.
Adapted to the situation. Wow. Okay, great. So you're flying out tomorrow. We're recording this on, Wednesday morning, my time, on September 3rd.
No, I'm leaving Friday afternoon, so.
Friday afternoon. Okay. And wow, so day trip? I mean, are you coming back on Monday or Sunday?
Monday. Okay. Sunday, I'm just going to hang out and watch as much football as I possibly can and until my eyes bleed. And then Monday, I'll go back to the real world.
Until your eyes bleed? Ugh. I don't think it'll be that bad. Jeez, if this past week was any indication.
Well, I mean, the CFL games will be over. Sunday will be the NFL games. I mean, there's one in particular I'm interested in, something about, where I come from and everything. But and the trade they made too, but we'll leave that for other podcasts.
Yeah. The football news of the week.
But yeah, I mean, I'll be in a place where I could pretty much turn on football in the morning and not have to turn it off until I'm ready to pass out, which is never the situation when you have a 7-year-old. So I shall take advantage of that as much as I possibly can.
Nor is it the situation when you do not actually have the day off work, which was the case a couple of days ago on Monday night, or on Monday day and Monday night in the CFL Labor Day weekend classics, the triple header. Did you? Yeah, there's no way you did the back-to-back-to-back. You did not watch all three of these back-to-back.
Well, no, because one was on Sunday and the other two were Monday, right?
Sure. I don't know on my time zone.
I
watched them all back to back.
Yeah. Then this week with the triple header, because there will be a triple header this week.
Okay.
I'll be at the middle game, so I'll miss chunks of both of the others. So. Well, it's the one weekend a year they do a triple header, and it's the one weekend a year I can't watch a triple header.
That you go live. Yeah, right.
Well,
right.
Let's be fair. There's no weekend ever when I'm home that I could watch a triple header and not get severely chastised for it. But such is the life we live at this point, right?
Well, yeah. Hashtag first world problems. First world football problems. For me, it was a triple header living in another time zone across the world. Good slate of games. I did not know, Joe. I did not know that a Canadian tradition on Labor Day was to have fireworks.
Yeah.
There were quite a few fireworks.
Quite a few fireworks. Yeah, unfortunately, Edmonton didn't get the message.
Well, to be fair, neither did Calgary offense. But I can talk about that.
I mean, Edmonton did light something on fire, their playoff chances.
Wow. Ouch. I saw actually where the CFL put up the playoff odds. How shocked are you that Saskatchewan is at 99.68% or perhaps to make the playoffs? Or perhaps the better question is, how shocked would you be if I told you this at this point prior to the season, let's say? By week
No,
13,
not.
really? Not surprised? Do you think that they were 100% this
Yeah,
season?
I mean, I picked them to win the West, didn't I?
Uh-huh. Yeah, what record did you have? Do you remember?
Something like 11 or 12.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I didn't think anybody was going to run away.
Yeah. 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 Well, I don't know. Would you call this a runaway?
No,
Would you call
Calgary
what
is
the
right on their
Riders did?
heels. They did not
Right.
have Calgary, but
Mhm.
who did?
But the Riders and the Stamps are running away from.
Yes, we have. I was actually just staring at the standings for a few minutes, waiting for the show to start. And there's two groups of teams in this league. There's
Right?
Calgary and Saskatchewan that seem to have stuff together, and then there's the mushy. You can't even call it the mushy middle because like everybody's involved, even Ottawa. Nobody's off, but no, and in that whole group,
Uh-huh.
who would you say is good at this point?
In of
Anybody,
all the
anybody
other
but
7 teams in the league.
anybody but Saskatchewan and Calgary. We've established
Okay.
they're good. Who else is actually good? Like, would you worry about them if you faced them in the playoffs? Good.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's a cop out answer, but we never know that until the end of the season. Going
Yeah,
back to the
we
beginning of.
yeah, yeah, we don't know
Right.
who's going to be hot in
Right.
October/November. But like right now, as it stands, if the playoffs started next week, first of all, we'd ask what happened to the last third of the season. But after that, we'd go, okay, who's actually good?
The Montreal Alexanders are still undefeated.
Yeah, but
So,
they're
and
not
Toronto,
currently in the league. So
Toronto, Toronto is Toronto is the third hottest team. Let's say. I mean, by record, they may be the hottest team.
and if the rumors of Chad Kelly starting next week are true, they might not be the hottest team anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Talk about a buzzkill, right?
Talk about bad timing, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. This is reminiscent of the BC Lions blowing themselves up by
Well, if
bringing
somebody
back
if you would have said he's back in week 7 or 8, like was initially planned, nobody would bat an eye. But Nick Arbuckle's won everybody over at this point, hasn't he?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The man is on a roll. The man is on a roll. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. So let's get into it, especially these first couple of games here. All right. So Saskatchewan Rough Riders 34, Winnipeg Blue Bombers 30. Okay. Let's go right to the chase. Cut to the chase on this one. All right. When the Bombers went down 31-17 and then 32-17 on the weird, nope, it's not a safety, it's a Rouge play. So did you give up? Did you give up hope?
At that point, I was playing with house money. How about that? Like, I had already anticipated they were not going to win this game.
Okay.
I didn't really have any feeling that they were going to win this game at any point, anytime.
Really?
Like, I figured they were going to be competitive.
Uh-huh.
It's just, Labor Day goes 3 ways in this rivalry. Either the Bombers win a really tight one where 3-4 weird bounces happen and they happen to get 2 of them. They lose a close one because one too many weird things happens against them.
Okay.
Or Saskatchewan comes out hot. It's 21-0 in the first quarter and you just turn the game off. Those are the 3 kinds of games that happen.
Okay.
And given that the Riders are at home, given that the Bombers haven't been as good as they've been over the past 5 years, just like, okay, this isn't going to be a great one. It was nice to see them rally. It was nice to see them, not give up. And there's reinforcements coming too. Ontario Wilson's on his way back. So there's a receiving core again, thankfully. But there was just no way I thought they were going to win that one. So it wasn't
Wow.
even. Well, let's put it this way: like at the end of the game, I wasn't even all that upset. It's just like, okay, well, that was probably the best they were going to do. And when
Okay.
and I felt
Okay.
that way pretty much the whole game. Like I normally have like a playoff buzz where you have that little extra like
Mhm.
anxiety inside of you, right?
Anxiety. Okay. All right.
Well, a little bit of extra, right?
Uh-huh.
Where ooh, this matters a little bit more, right? Didn't happen this game.
Mhm.
Whether it was because the Riders have played so well this season, whether it's because I know Labor Day is a
Yeah.
curse usually, or whether it's because I didn't believe the Bombers are as good of a team as the Riders, it's just like that buzz was not there this time. And usually that's beyond, honestly, the West Finals over the past few years, because those have been like tight and scary, given that you're the
Mhm.
team that's got to win that one, right? Or and you're the team
Mhm.
expected
Mhm.
to. Like Labor Day is usually number two. Like the Grey Cup is even like around that, but I think I'm getting used to the disappointment in Grey Cups. So right, like
Jesus,
like
you're becoming.
In BC, it was just like you could just kind of feel it inevitably happening, and it was just like, okay, well, it's happening.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
But like Labor
You
Day is usually like this, right? Wasn't happening this year. So that should tell you what my subconscious thinks of the Bombers' chances right now.
yeah, your subconscious, your conscious. um, let's see. I'm opening this up for a second. Okay, so you've already given up. You're already conceding the Grey Cup. You're even conceding the West Championship as a
I,
Bombers fan.
I wish I wasn't, but like when I sat through Labor Day and felt like that, it's
Mhm.
like, okay,
Mhm.
well, my subconscious knows better than my conscious mind. Like my conscious
Right.
mind keeps telling
Yes.
me, hey, you know, you get hot in November, things happen. Look at the
Yep.
East, look at the Bombers of
Yep.
2019. It's like, but
Yep.
I
Yep.
think I just need to see. I need to see the Bombers get hot
Mhm.
beyond the first three games,
Mhm.
because two of those were against BC and they match up pretty well against BC, right? And I think the third
Mhm.
was against Edmonton, and Edmonton was like two or three plays away from winning that game. So
Mhm.
even then, it was like, okay, 3-0, better than the opposite, but like, okay, hopefully they can keep this going, and then they didn't. So I want to see. I think to get my hopes up again, I'd like to see
Mhm.
them just start a nice run, like 4 out of 5 or three in a row or something, where it's like, okay, they're back, they've got something going, they finally figured it out this year, right? I just don't think they have.
Mhm. 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 Yes. Yes, you are correct. But again, this is the CFL. If you think about some of the previous champions, in fact, if you think of all the new champions, all the non repeat champions, this happens. I've been saying this for years. It really, really, really doesn't matter who the best team in the regular season is. It's who gets hot in the playoffs. Right?
Yeah.
That's it. That's
And I
it.
mean
That's
that it's
it.
on the table, but until I
Mhm.
see it, I think I'm just going to be like, okay, well,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what's wild is, oh boy, I really wish I hadn't opened this. We've got the live odds tracker. Now, what's wild is Winnipeg has the third best odds to make the playoffs right now. Their odds are somehow better than first place in the East, Hamilton and Toronto. Okay. So Saskatchewan and Calgary are nearly at 100%, 99.88, 99.94. Wow. For Calgary. How can that be? Huh? They have better odds than Saskatchewan, I guess, because of the tiebreaker. A Winnipeg is in third on the chart, 96.17. Okay. Because you are correct, Joe. Edmonton basically iced their chances of advancing this year. They're
they
already
made
down
it a
to
lot harder on themselves than they had to make it.
15.8. 15.8. That means in 1 in 6 universes, the 2025 Edmonton Elks make the playoffs. So not likely. What's really depressing about this is that Montreal has the second highest odds on this chart. Second longest odds, 42.76% only. Ottawa at 47.43. And how about this for a if I told you at the beginning of the year? BC, 44.7% only. Less than 50% chance of making the playoffs this year.
Yep. I mean, for BC, nothing would have surprised me out of BC this year.
Yeah, that's true. I remember you saying that. Yep. They could go either way.
And I mean, I said 8-10, and they're 5-6, so I feel pretty good about that.
Right. Okay.
It's nice to get one right. Just don't talk about the rest of them.
Yeah, 1 out of 9, Joe. Excellent. I don't even think you'd take that on CFL Pick'em. Come on now.
Yeah, 1 out of 1 of the ones we're talking about.
Right. Exactly. 1 out of this one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. In any case, okay. So, wow. Some crazy stuff at the end of this game, though. I was surprised. I was believing for a while there. I was believing.
It was fun.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong. I was enjoying the fact that they did have that surge at the end to make it at least respectable. And, that onside kick that kind of went weirdly was like, oh, maybe? No. Okay. No. All right. Whatever. We weren't winning this one anyway. Might as well just go to bed now.
Yeah. But pretty. I mean, like I said, a lot of fireworks, pretty exciting stuff. Colero started throwing the ball. It's hard to believe that he ended up with only 326 yards on 37 attempts because it seemed like he was airing it out all the time.
He had a good game if he had a moment to throw, which the offensive line isn't what it used to be. So,
not currently, no. Currently, no.
And he still wants to throw the ball. He wants to hit the long ones, but he's usually short on them, right? You can see what he sees, and you can see what, a 30-year-old Zach Collaros makes that throw. A 35-year-old Zach Collaros is 5 yards short, and the defenders catch up, right?
Yeah, but how relieved was he to have Dalton Shun back?
That was nice. Dembski back healthy was nice.
Right.
Brady played well again.
Yeah.
And if we can find the solution to the offensive line, doubtful at this point of the year, but there's at least something to hope on, right? You get one more weapon in there. The defense isn't the shutdown team that they used to be. I mean, they're a 500 team. They're 303 points scored, 299 against. Like they're actually playing better record wise than their numbers say they should be.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can blame this on certain other teams in the league, I think, being not so good. It's ironic because this feels like the year where the Bombers want to be the crossover team, right? This team you can't really say it in the CFL, but on any given Sunday, right? This team could beat any of those teams in the East right now in the playoffs. They come up through Toronto, beat Hamilton in the championship game with this team. Sure. Right now, sure. Absolutely. I mean, they put up 30 points on the Riders, so pretty hard to believe too that this game there was 60 plus points in this game. First quarter ended 0-0.
Yeah, it took a while to get going.
Right. And then soon the Bombers were up 10-0. How big, I mean, is this one? I mean, again, you never really believed anyway, but how big was the Riders stopping that first and goal early in the second quarter?
It changed the entire dynamic of the game.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. Key play. Keep play by the defense there, by the Riders' defense. Who would have thought? Because actually, for a little while, it looked like the key play of the game was, and we talked about Dalton Schoen returning for the Bombers. I got to stop saying that like it's a German name. It is a German name, but you have to say Schoen. So Dalton Schoen, um, he was not only back, but for the Riders, Mario Alford was back. And with about a minute and a half left to go, fumbled the return, put Winnipeg seemingly back in the game. Now, have we seen the 2-point conversion returned? Have we seen the pick 2 yet this season in the CFL?
I don't know if we've seen one this season until that
Right,
one.
right. It's still not a very, this was introduced a few years ago, but still not a very common play result. And yet that's how this game effectively ended was with the pick 2 by Zach. Well, Zach was really rolling the dice in this game, and for a while he was having fun, but yeah, not to end the game. So okay, so right now you're looking to make the playoffs. Would you be happy with a Bombers upset of Calgary in the first round? How about that? Will you take that?
I think anything less than a Grey Cup this year's got to be considered a failure, considering where it's at.
Get out! Wow,
Yeah,
really?
and
Even
considering what this team has been,
oh,
it's.
okay.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that they're as good as they've been, but
Yeah.
going into the season, you've got the Grey Cup at home. You're gearing your personnel towards making a run this year, right? It's kind of what Hamilton tried to do a couple years ago. It's what other teams try to do is load up and then like take the consequences later. Well, the consequence is going to be they're going to have a pretty darn old team next year, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So really,
Okay.
this was the last stand for this group. I'm thinking. I
Wow.
can't imagine.
Okay.
I can't imagine Stanley Bryant coming back. I mean, he's almost 40. I want to say. Willie's getting up there. Zach did sign an extension, so he might stay around a year or two more. Whether he's going to stay healthy behind this offensive line is something else, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Nick Dembski is 31. Uh, like this core group that from the end of the 2010s into the early 2020s that won all these games is starting to go away and fade away. At some point, they're going to have to hit the reset button and make some drastic changes.
Mm-hmm.
And not making the Grey Cup or winning the Grey Cup this year might signal the time to do that.
Mm-hmm. Well, Calgary did. Calgary did. Right?
Yeah.
Calgary took a year off. Rebuilt after what 20-year run in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Took a year off, and this year, I mean, honestly, wow. They've got. I mean, again, the board says so. They've got to be one of the teams to beat.
They absolutely are. They have a defense that I would have a hard time picking against at this point.
Yeah.
They've stood up through 2/3 of the season at this point and said we're for real.
Okay.
So do you pick against that defense ever?
Well, yeah. Again, on any given Sunday, the Riders might be able to rack up a few points against them. They did not last time, but
Yeah,
perhaps they have adapted.
And you're more apt to do this than I am. Obviously, I mean we've established this over the decade we've been doing this, but I would have some serious problems throwing money against Calgary's defense in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say. Well, let's skip forward. We're doing the stream of consciousness style. Let's stay in the West, skip forward to the end of the weekend, or the end of the Monday, let's say, where Calgary Stampeders 28, Edmonton Elks 7. This is the thing. I was thinking about Calgary's season so far. In about week 3 or 4, 3 to 4, the Stamps had the run where they had 2 games without an offensive touchdown. Questioning Dave Dickinson, questioning Vernon Adams. the lesson, as always, we are idiots, but we have a podcast, so we can do this kind of thing. This game, what is this game? The only offensive touchdown in this entire game was in the first quarter by the Stamps. There were only 2 touchdowns in the game, the other one being the special teams, the return touchdown by the Stamps. So, this was, whereas earlier in the season, this game might be a concern for the Stamps. At this point, it's, as you implied, Joe, same old Stamps.
This is who they are.
Yep. It's the Poltergeist line, right? They're back. Poltergeist 2, right? That's what this is. I mean, wow. In that respect, kind of a statement game for the Stamps, as if they needed it after thoroughly beating the Riders the week before. Just as you said, defense playing a complete game. They win the turnover battle 3-0. Cody Fajardo, who had been, besides maybe Nick Arbuckle, can you imagine, the hottest quarterback in the CFL, he was shut down. 21-33 for 255 yards. I mean, mediocre stats, but no touchdowns, no real offense generated from the Elks. They were never scary in this game. Justin Rankin was kept to 96 yards, and it seemed like a lot less than that, to be honest. Did he even run the ball in the second half? I mean, did he even get a running attempt in the second half? I don't honestly recall. I don't think so. So really nice game by the Stamps. Really nice game for the Stamps. Okay. If the playoffs start today, are they the favorites to win the Cup, Joe? Or is it the Riders?
Assuming they don't meet Ottawa, they're probably the best bet, right?
Yes, the Ottawa Kryptonites. For some odd reason. I don't know. What is it?
That will be a bizarre thing if they happen to just go hot and finish first, which is totally on the table. And Ottawa finished last out east. It's just like, okay, well, how did this happen?
Yeah, exactly. If it weren't for Ottawa, they might have been undefeated. What they say at the end of the year. Okay, so the other game of the weekend was, and I'm still not sure. I keep thinking, which result would I have liked more as a Montreal Alouettes fan? But of course, the final score of this game was Hamilton Tiger Cats 33, Toronto Argonauts 32. Oh, no, wait. That was the score when I turned off this game thinking it was over. Joe, do you ever do that? When was the last time you did that? Turned off the game before it was over.
The second pick six that Zach threw in the first Calgary game.
Okay.
At that point, it was like 30-something-7, so I felt pretty okay about that.
And you turned it off. Yep.
And I'm just like, nope. Let's go. Let's burn the tape and go on to next week.
Yeah, but have you ever done that and been burned? Right? Have you ever done that, turned it off, and then surprise, you get a different result?
I think the last time I did that was like a Packer game, like the Rodgers Hail Mary against the Lions. We turned it off rather early because we had a very early start the next day, and then they came back. But we would have been, to be fair to us, we would have been in bed. We needed to be in bed earlier than we went to bed. So
right.
But still, waking up to that, it's like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yay, but like, why this one?
Yeah, right. So wow, what a crazy game. This was a pretty, I mean, how many points were scored in that fourth quarter? Like 30? I mean, okay. So it was pretty wild because you're sitting there watching this game. And there are basically 3 teams in the CFL. that have been getting repeatedly torched by the long ball. These are two of them. The other one is BC Lions. Okay. These are teams that have given up 50, that have scored 50 on basically on both ends. Earlier in the season was the Hamilton Tiger Cats game when they were scoring 50 and Paul Levy was throwing for 5 touchdowns against 0 picks against the Argos. I mean, these are some defenses who are playing scared against the long ball. So, guess what happened?
Or as Peyton Manning says in a video game commercial like 20 years ago, these defenses are offensive.
well, again, they're just playing scared. They're just like, I mean, okay, fair enough. They're defending against their weakest bit of their game, right? They can't defend the long ball, so let's stop that from happening. Okay, but I mean, it was hilarious because it was getting to the point where Kate Burness was complaining about check downs at half. They come out of the third quarter, and here's Arbuckle checks it down. These poor guys were like looking for synonyms for check down, but there were so many of these. Now, let me ask you this. How many passing yards were there in the fourth quarter?
Enough to help me win the fantasy league, be number 1 in the week, because I had Bo as my captain.
Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah, see, you must...
Oh, I'm sorry. You were asking for the actual number. I don't know that.
Yeah, no, you must have been hating life going into that fourth quarter. Well, maybe not.
Oh, no, I was well ahead, so I wasn't too upset.
Okay.
But that fourth quarter really made me happy, right?
Good. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And for much of it, the Ticats fans were happy as well until what? The last 3 seconds? Get this, fourth quarter, 338 points. All of a sudden, Arbuckle and Bo are playing like these two teams have been playing most of the season. At least it's about week 4 in the case of Toronto. Okay. Just absolutely nuts. Plus, there was one pass interference against Toronto that went for another 55 yards. This might have been almost 400 yards in the fourth quarter alone, right? 30 points scored as well. I mean, you basically increased the total points scored in this game by half, by 100% in the fourth quarter. I mean, just nuts, crazy game. I don't know if I would call it a Labor Day classic, but it was certainly a Labor Day oddity. I don't know. I know what the numbers are telling me. The numbers are telling me that Hamilton has nice odds to make the playoffs and that Toronto is now the second most likely team coming out of the East to make it. So, okay. This East has shifted around. At least 3 teams have looked like leaders of this division. Who do you like to win the East in the end, Joe?
When's Davis Alexander coming back?
Oh, next week? Maybe.
Well, let's see.
They were hinting at it before.
He was limited in practice today.
Okay.
So that means he's at least on the field, right?
Yes. It would be rough to play Hamilton without him. And then they get Saskatchewan in week 15. So honestly, I'm hoping that he's back. Right.
Yeah, if he's not back by then they're just gonna have to struggle upstream to make a playoff spot.
Well, yeah.
But if he does come back and is the same player he is, I'm just looking at the schedule going forward. Let's take a look. Okay, let's see. So we talked about Hamilton at Montreal.
No. Montreal at Saskatchewan.
At Saskatchewan, I'm sorry. Montreal at Toronto.
Right.
They could be in there in a
At
funk
at
after
this
they've
point,
changed.
we could salvage second place if he comes back in week 17 for at Toronto versus Calgary. Jesus. Although in week 17, we might pull off that upset. That would be a nice one. We'll see if it's the same old Stamps. We'll see if they lose that
I'm not.
late season game.
If he comes back by the Toronto game and has a solid one there, I could be convinced to pick against Calgary that game, but I'd have to see Alexander. Yeah, listen to me. After a year, after what 2/3 of the season, 1/3 of the season, which Ash hasn't played. Now I'm playing the Davis Alexander needs to play card.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the only thing that's worked,
right?
He
does.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then you got a home and home with Ottawa week 19 and 20, and then at Winnipeg at the end.
Yeah.
Depending on whether Winnipeg needs anything or not, who knows? So
yeah, we could close out 3-0, but at that point, I mean, on the other hand, too, I think that
9-9 might win the East. So
yeah. Although Toronto and Hamilton right now are better than 9-9 teams, aren't they?
Well, I mean, Toronto's 4-8 already.
Yeah.
So I mean, unless Chad Kelly comes back and like wins them 6 in a row, because with magical Chad powers, 9-9's probably going to win the East.
Okay, so BC is still a game and a half up on Toronto. Wow.
They are.
Man, Toronto dug a hole.
They did, but I could see Toronto, getting to 8-10, right?
Of course.
And if BC finishes that way, that's not going to be good enough for BC, right?
Can BC finish 9-9?
8-10 is 4-2 for Toronto right now, right?
Yes.
That's in play, I think.
Okay, who does Toronto get? I'm looking up the odds for next week. So tell me, what is Toronto?
Well, let's see. Get? Toronto gets a bye.
Okay. Right. Sweet.
They host Edmonton, host Montreal, at BC.
Okay. That's going to be a key game.
Host Hamilton, at Saskatchewan. And it's a little too early in week 19 to say Saskatchewan might not have anything to play for. At Calgary, ouch. Yep. Drawing those two back to back when they're competing for a division title.
When they both need to win.
And that's their season because they have the bye in week 21. Okay. So 8-10 feels like a fantasy right now. I'll be honest.
Wow, BC. Wow, those BC Toronto games have been surprisingly important. It's odd.
And for the last 3 or 4 years, they've been insane too, right? Yeah. The endings are like always a gong show, right? Yeah. Like that's must see TV right there.
Yeah. Bet the underdog.
Oh yeah, because they're always like 18-17 and with a walk-off Rouge, right?
Yeah. Right. You gotta love that. That's a great game to bet. Do not bet this, even if you do bet. Speaking of betting, I'm looking up the lines for next week's games. Full slate of games again, 4 games. All right, so we're opening up so September 5 at 7:30 p.m. That's local time, right, Joe? That's not Central European time.
Yeah, not Central European time for sure.
Okay, 7:30 p.m. All right, on the 5th. BC at Ottawa. Okay, you got to guess the line on this one. BC at Ottawa. Ottawa coming off a bye. BC coming off a bye.
BC -2.
-4, actually. Wow, -2. Ooh, really? Are they that bad, Joe? That bad? Because they should win this game coming away, right?
I don't know about coming away, but I think they win it. I just don't think they get a huge bump because they've been inconsistent too, right?
Yeah, this would be the one though. Nathan Rook will be airing it out in this game. I would take BC to win outright. I don't think covering 4 is going to be a big deal. I really don't. I mean, BC may be inconsistent as hell, but they're still the number 3 seed in the East, right? All right, so next game, Hamilton at Montreal. Okay, what about this one?
How do you feel about your defense?
against the Ticats offense?
Is your defense going to be able to win this game by themselves with your offense making minimal contributions, positive or negative?
Okay, here's the thing. The book must think that Davis is coming back because it's -3.5. Okay. Hamilton just about a field goal favorite. All right. So again, I guess implying on a neutral field that this is a touchdown game. Hamilton wins by a touchdown on a neutral field. But to me, that suggests that Alexander comes back. If Alexander's not back, there's no way I would take Montreal, even plus the 3.5.
No, because you faced Winnipeg 2 weeks ago,
right.
And your defense was fine,
right.
But your offense didn't do enough to take the pressure off of them.
Of course not. Of course not. Jeez. I mean, again, we talked about this last week.
Yep,
the offense is not even keeping hold of the ball long enough.
No.
You know?
I mean, you're on your 4th, possibly 5th or 6th quarterback this next
right.
week if Alexander doesn't come back. Not to say that I don't think James Morgan could play a decent game of ball at some point here. But ever asking your 4th-string quarterback to do anything is a dicey proposition. There's a reason they're a 4th-string quarterback, right?
I mean, here's the thing. I mean, blame it on the planning or whatever. Okay, it's no secret that your 2nd-string quarterback is important, right? But
right.
Here's the thing.
You guys failed that test this year.
Well, yeah, the Owls. Okay, whether you like the Fajardo cut or not, whether you like cutting ties with him or not,
which you had to if it was going to be Davis's team, so you had to do that.
Right. That was the thing. They did it as soon as possible. Good, clean break. Start the game planning, the week after the Grey Cup for the next season. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, I guess the problem is they orchestrated this offense around Davis Alexander. Because as soon as McLeod Bethel Thompson entered the game, it was clear that this offense was not built for him. And you're playing quarterback roulette. So even if you did have a game plan for your 2nd-string quarterback, you cannot adapt quickly enough as you're running through these guys, many of whom have different strengths. But, I guess the point is that this offense was never adaptable enough to be without Davis Alexander. Like, it only works if he's in the game.
Which is a problem when he misses 7 games.
Yeah, but still, Joe, we got to win 3 of those.
Well, remember what the second part of hey, your backup needs to win you 2 out of 4.
Right.
What happens if you go over 4? Good luck.
Well, okay, luckily. I mean, here's the luck. We're playing in the East, right?
That's exactly it, right?
So that's the luck. But again, I'm optimistic. If Davis can come back, we can make something out of this season. We can. All we need is the one upset in Hamilton. Right? We can do this. We can do this. Okay, here we go. Here's the big one. Saskatchewan Roughriders at Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Okay. Banjo Bowl. What's the Joe in attendance? What's the line on this one?
Riders -3.
Ready? Yep. Bombers -1.
Okay, then the sports books are smarter than I thought because
Right.
the Bombers going to be effing pissed after that one.
Yeah.
It's their home game. It's going to be the
Yeah.
loudest crowd of the season.
Yeah.
And Saskatchewan so far
Yeah.
has only had issues against like really bad situations. The Banjo Bowl is always a really bad situation for them, right? Because what? They lost to Calgary at this point.
Right.
Who else did they lose to?
Yeah, that's just what I was thinking. What was their other loss this season? I'm drawing a blank on that. So
did they not? Did they lose twice to Calgary? Is that what we're saying?
I think so.
Here, yeah.
Yeah, if I recall correctly. Yeah.
Right. I mean, again, if Calgary
they're 4-2 against the division.
Yeah.
They're 0-2 against Calgary. Yeah, I said this last week. They're 0-2 against Calgary, 9-0 against everybody else.
Right.
Right. There's some teams in the East they haven't played yet, who are thankful for that. But yeah, they're 9-0 against the rest of the league. They're 9-0 against teams not named Calgary.
It would be a huge step in the right direction for them to come out of this one with a win. And I'm also not saying that they can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying that in this rivalry, you going into one of these games on the road and taking it away is a huge step for you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, there's been times where the schedule will throw a third game, beginning, end of the season, what have you. That one, for some reason, just doesn't have nearly as much to it because these are the traditional dates, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's weird because I can't remember, like, there's been like important ones near the end of the season too, and there's just not quite that fire, or the weirdness, or the odd bounces, or one team taking it to the other team and making it like, we got our home crowd behind us, we're up 14-0 already, you just go home now. None of that. But in these two games, home field is just ginormous, and if you take that from the other team, you change the trajectory of their season.
Mm-hmm.
As we've witnessed the past few years, right?
Well, it still feels like a lot to ask from Winnipeg, right? To move up on this table. Because, okay, here's the thing. I was thinking,
and they might not. They might be just stuck at third. And third might be 11-7. Third might be 9-9. But they're probably somewhere in there, and the other two are up and beyond that.
Well,
I don't think BC's catching you because they're BC.
Here's the thing I was thinking. Yeah, exactly. Here's the thing I was thinking. Okay. For purposes of CFL pickup, for purposes of betting, especially money line betting, okay, Saskatchewan is 9-2. 9-2. Okay. Say they go 4-3. That's a 13-5 season. That's really, really good.
Really good.
Right? What makes me think they're going to go 5-2? Are they that good? Are they, the 2021 Winnipeg Blue Bombers? Are they really that good? I'm not sure, And so, again, it's one of those just by the numbers thing. Just by the numbers thing, Saskatchewan is going to lose a few games going forward. And why not this one? They're not going to go 16-0 against the rest of the CFL. They're not.
This one, just looking at their calendar.
Yeah.
This one might be the toughest game they have left.
Yep.
I mean, they do come into Winnipeg again in week 20. And it might be for a very important game. For both. But mostly probably for them in the race against Calgary, right?
Saskatchewan, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Saskatchewan might have something to play for. They might have
right. And the Bombers might be stuck in third.
Yeah.
But
geez,
there's no way in hell they'd also go, oh, it's time for the backups. No. They're going to play their asses off on that one for sure. At the same time, it's not going to be the same atmosphere as what's going to happen this weekend.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, I would take Winnipeg in this game. Sure. I would take Winnipeg.
Just by the fact that this one is this series definitely usually splits this weekend. I'm taking Winnipeg too, and I mean Winnipeg did show they could play with them too, right?
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Yep.
And it would be
Um,
really, really nice if it was one of those games where it was 21-0 with 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. But you know, I can't get greedy. I'll take any kind of win right now.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
But I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
for my personal enjoyment, I'll take the second thing.
The Schadenfreude. Yeah.
just,
Let's
you
see.
might be better than us this year, but we're better than you today.
Right, right. When you really need to be better than them in November.
I know, but
No, we're taking these 1 week at a time. Taking these games 1 week at a time.
yeah.
Uh, okay, so closing out the week with what we would expect to be a blowout. Wow, Edmonton did not like drawing this back to back, this home and home this year. Calgary at Edmonton. Calgary, 5.5 point favorite only.
Feels right. I would say
Five and a half. Yeah.
I wouldn't have been surprised with 7 or 7.5, but that feels pretty good.
So, okay, how do you justify them bringing it closer than 14 points when they couldn't even score points on the offense?
Because Edmonton's not going to have that bad a week again. I don't think. And
Okay.
I don't think they have much of a home field advantage right now, let's be fair.
Okay. No,
But
no, no.
you have to play that card too a little bit when you're thinking about picking a game like this, especially on a back to back.
Wow, wouldn't that be something? Winnipeg beats the Riders and the Stamps need to win and they lose at Edmonton. Wouldn't
Wouldn't
that be something?
that would make Edmonton fans go, okay, I'm feeling a little
Yeah,
bit better
right.
about ourselves now.
Right. Yeah, see, you might be better than us, but this week we were better than you, right? It
Right.
would be that same kind of situation. And wow, that would be a crusher for the Stamps. That would be a sad day in Stamps fandom. Because if these games split, if Calgary wins and Saskatchewan loses, Calgary's in first place, are they not?
Absolutely.
Yep. Because they got the commanding lead on the tiebreaker. In fact, they win the tiebreaker. So this could be the Stamps taking over the West if these games break. I will say yes. I'm going to take Calgary here. I'm going to say Calgary's in first place at the end of this week.
Oh, me too. I'm taking
Yeah, you will?
Calgary.
Okay.
I just Edmonton's missing something, and they've been missing something for 7, 8 years, but they still haven't found it.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, I mean, they're missing a few pieces, I think.
Right. And I have to say, I feel like that and I feel like I say this every year about this time too, which makes it feel like I'm an idiot for saying it. But I feel like they're starting to make a step or two in the right direction. Just assuming they don't destroy it in the off season like they did this last time, right?
Well, I mean, this is the problem with playing in the West right now is a step forward is not going to be enough. I mean, the leap that the Riders made this season, the bounce back that the Stamps are doing, that's not enough. You can take a step forward, you're still like many steps behind the teams on the top, and you've got Winnipeg with the championship acumen there as well. Sad.
Which
They're
is
going to need more than that.
which is going to slowly fade over the next few years. I'm sad to say.
Yeah, or not. They have an off season and come back. Okay, all right. So, all right. I think that's all. We have nothing else. We have nothing else to say, Joe. We've said enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't even want to say a word there. All right. So let's call it a week. Enjoy the games. Enjoy the week 14 games. This has been the Rouge, White, and Blue CFL podcast, a Shotgun Sports Network production. My name is Oz Davis, and for my co host, Joe Pritchard, we are out of here. Talk to you next week.